Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. How is everyone this fine Friday? Or as I like to say, Fry, yay. Even my phone agrees. Oh my gosh. Yes, how are you guys today? I missed you on Wednesday. My migraine was much better Wednesday, but I just felt like I don't know, this void space. And when I get like that, it's not that I can't connect and can't bring these messages through, but I just felt like I needed some time to just be and just process. There's been, well, interestingly enough, a lot of people right now are under psychic attack. I mean, when does it ever stop is kind of the vibe around here. But I just, yeah, just being in this void space after a big psychic attack that, physically leaves me drained or feeling like I'm depleted in some way. And then all that does really is just get my spiritual armor, back up, back in action and um stronger than ever, It's very interesting. But it's weird being in that void space. It's almost like you can't be emotional. You're just like almost numb feeling. Um but I've learned something about myself, and I didn't realize this until this last little cycle of migraines, that even the days after the migraine, I still feel like this pressure around my head, even though the pain is gone. And there's just this lethargy. And I'm realizing now this happens every time. Like there's this lethargy, like kind of just trying to recover the strength from just how intense the pain can get. It's just a thing. So that all coupled with the fact that since, well, last Saturday, so a week ago tomorrow, I went to the 21 Pilots new album Breach listening party at one of the local music stores here and got a week ahead sneak peek of the new album and did not disappoint. 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10. Just so good, so good. Um, and the music video dropped last night, 10 my time, but I didn't watch it this morning until my boys were up because I wanted to watch it with all of us together. Um, and that wrapped up a 10-year storyline of lore and hints and tricks and all sorts of just backstory and storyline and everything. And very bittersweet. So like finally I'm able to feel some emotion again after that void time of being in the migraine. But oh my gosh, what a roller coaster just this last week or so has been. Just, psychic attack emotionally, with my favorite band putting out their kind of last, I guess, album in their lore. Not to say they're never putting another album out again, but found out that the second member, the drummer of 21 Pilots, is actually expecting a baby with Debbie Ryan, his wife. She was on some Disney show. I think it was called Jessie or something. I've never seen it. And I think she was also in that show Insatiable on Netflix. Again, never seen it, never saw it. I don't know. I've never seen any of her actressing, but I know she's a famous actress. So they're expecting a baby. So they're taking some much needed time off. I mean, they've just been grinding. I mean, really the last 3 years, they've just been nonstop. And they put out 2 albums within about, I don't know, 15 months of each other, which is almost unheard of. Um, and they just keep getting better and better. So it's like, oh my gosh, I'm still like processing all of the lyrics and the songs and how it made me feel. And the fact that this all is so in alignment with this awakening and um, just everything going on in the world and the spiritual warfare, like if that was not his intention, um coincidences be coincidenting out here, because oh my gosh, just the level of depth and everything um to the lore. I have chills right now. Sometimes an artist or a musician or a actor, actress, sometimes someone with a true spirit can squeak by, not to say that they probably don't have him on their radar like they have the rest of us, but he's still able to get his point across in a very um entertainment purposes only kind of way, and I love that so much, because so much of this industry, the industries, are so corrupt, they're so evil. they're so just nasty. And to see a true light shining within that is great. It's great. I would say probably less than 10% of the artists and stuff out there are actually connected to spirit and not working for some nefarious agenda. Um, and even if they have to quote unquote sign a contract or whatever to rise to the level they're at, 21 Pilots, I don't know. I mean, they're world famous as far as they have a huge and loyal fan base, but they're not the Taylor Swifts or anything like that. They're not in another stratosphere of fame that you would think, with how absolutely amazing their music, the lyricism, the just everything is. It should be much more popular. But again, if you are the sane one in the insane asylum, you're not going to be the most popular. I mean, you may gain popularity among the ones that really resonate with your message, which we are out there, our true spirits, we're out there. But yeah, it's like a 10-year deep dive. Like you could be deep diving into that lore and of course it's metaphorically tied to what we're actually going through on this realm right now. So it's very cool. Bittersweet that it came to an end. And I don't want to spoil the ending for anyone, but we'll just say the ending was very melancholy. So I'll leave it at that. How is everybody today? Now that I'm done talking about 21 Pilots, I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, it means you shouldn't. Yeah. And I could have pushed through and done it, but I'm like, you know what? No, you guys deserve better. You deserve better. It's like I would rather show up 100% rather than 90%. You know what I mean? Linda's here. Brianna's here. Hello. Welcome, ladies. Good to see you. And we do have one donation. And today, we're 7 minutes and 11 seconds in, I have not mentioned the fact today is a donation only live stream, which we do every other Friday. So we've kind of come to that point, even though I feel like I just want to hang out and talk with you guys because it has been a minute. I missed Wednesday because of the coming off the migraine and all that fun stuff. But, hopefully next Wednesday we can do something fun and exciting again. We did a what was it called? Eclipse live stream, more for the lunar eclipse, and some of the stuff we were talking about, the political, stuff going on with the axis of Aquarius, where the eclipse was, and then the solar eclipse is going to be in the sign of Vedic astrology is what we're talking about. The sign of Leo, which is happening around the 21st, and the astrology around the day of September 24th is like off the charts. Something major is going to happen. Just looking at the astrology, you're like, oh my gosh, what is this? What is happening? There was an ASS, a nation, I nation. I never really thought of the word that I just said. You can put it all together because I don't want to, algorithms and all the fun things. But the person who got, unalived at their thing they were speaking at. Yeah. More of that kind of craziness is likely to happen this month and over this next eclipse cycle. I mean, it was no surprise. And again, I wasn't seeking this stuff. It just finds you if you're anywhere. I went on Facebook I can't remember what I was doing. Oh, my aunt was in town and she had posted a bunch of pictures from when she was in town. So my phone at the time, I now have a new phone. Thank goodness. It works. And funny enough, there. The other one actually was closer to this color, but darker, my old phone case. But this one's more like a light lavender. And weirdly enough, this is almost the exact color of the walls in here, but the camera does not do the walls in here justice. It's not doing the phone case justice either, but it's like a lilac, like a light lavender or a lilac colored case. So, and walls in here, but again, it's very whitewashed out. Washes it all out. But oh, Linda's gonna donate as well. Good morning to you, Linda. Awesome. The more the merrier. We'll get into it here shortly. But yeah, with these eclipses coming up Wednesday, let's see. well, the next eclipse is the 21st. So probably whatever live stream falls before that date, we're going to do the solar eclipse special, which will be next Friday. So Wednesday, we may just aim to do a one card pull, which we haven't done in a minute just because of missing live streams and donation only live streams and the eclipse special, all that fun stuff. So we're going to do a free one card pull for everybody that wants to get one on Wednesday. And again, there's an amended schedule Wednesday because Wrigley has football games during our normal schedule. So we're going to be at 11 a.m. Mountain Time and Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And it's right now 11:11 where I'm at anyway. So next Friday, a week from today, we will do the solar eclipse special. How does that sound? Just get all of that crazy energy, collective information, anything we need to know, just get that front and center. And then, of course, we kind of tune into it on a mundane level, but I also like to tune into it on a more personal, to us watching now or on the replay kind of vibe, just to see what we can expect, because there's a lot going on out there. And just because there's a dumpster fire doesn't mean we need to be in the middle of it. You know, energetically speaking, it may be all around us, but we can be in the world, but not of it, kind of thing. So yeah. Anyway, I think trying to think if there's anything else I needed to say as far as announcements go. Yeah, just 21 pilots, all the fun things. And Katie donated right before the stream. She's gonna watch after work. That's what her message here says. Oh, Brianna has donated, and then Linda. So Brianna, we're gonna go ahead and get into your reading first, my dear. So Brianna, and I may do I even have a pen? I gotta have something in here. Oh, Wrigley for the save. He's got, that's my Sharpie. Why is that in his marker box? It doesn't matter. We share all the fun accoutrements around here. Okay, so B degree. And we are at 12:11. There's a countdown going on. Countdown to something exciting is what I just heard. Okay, so let's get into Brianna's question. Let's go over to email. Da-da-da. Click on it. Okay. Hi, Amanda. Guess what? I got engaged. Oh my gosh. That is amazing. I'm so happy for you. I could feel it. I could feel it in the air for close to a year now. I'm like, okay, it's going to happen at some point. But oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Big hugs to you. I'm in such a high place right now. I can't even speak on everything because it's so sacred right now. Will you channel a divine message for me? Thank you. Aw, big hugs. That's so exciting. And of course, oh, in September, there we go. I have chills. And of course, Mama Monica, she's got to pop on in and give her 14. She's not like 2 cents. She's like, no, I got to give my 14 cents. She's very excited. It's very interesting because she's showing me almost like her guiding him toward you and her guiding you toward him. Like this is what she wants for you, is someone who's a protector, a provider, a lover, a best friend, like someone who, not that this person has to be everything and everyone to you, but it's like she couldn't have handpicked someone better is kind of what she's trying to say here. But let's get a message that you need to know right now. Divine message. Ooh, this one jumped. Oh, look at this. And it's like Mama Monica coming in. She's lending that hand. You know, she's lending the hand to, and then the number 38 adds up to an 11, which is the sacred, beautiful, like twin flame, divine counterpart, you know, whatever you subscribe to or don't in that realm. But at the very least, this definitely feels like you guys were led to each other. She's letting you know, yeah, I had a hand in this. I really did. And by I mean her, not me personally, but her speaking through me. So divine message coming through, coming in hot. I don't know why we're starting with this deck. I just grabbed it and that's what we're doing. So that's what we're doing. The chills won't stop. They're just on and on and on. And we have speak with love. Wow. And then number 32. Yeah, there's a lot of changes coming. And look, this is very romantic. I don't know. This reminds me of like is it in Italy? Like the canals. I'm not much of a world and weary traveler, but worldly traveler, I should say. There may even be French connections here, but it does feel very much like more the costumes they're wearing or clothing they're wearing are giving like French French vibes, but I'm getting like almost like Italy or something like that. Um, Not that you have to go on a honeymoon there or anything, but it's giving like romantic, um, just beautiful. And don't they say too that like Italian language is like the most beautiful language, and especially when you're confessing your love to someone, if you say in Italian, it's just such a beautiful language. Um, and it's also kind of giving 6 of Wands energy. Like there's a healing that's being taken place as a result of this engagement. But you're not going away from anything. You're starting a journey together is really what this is coming across as. Especially with this lending a hand. It's like neither of you, you and your fiance, have to go this life alone. Not that you guys were alone anyway. You've been together a minute, but it's just letting you know that like, you know, life is this journey you can take together. You're no longer having to be apart, but coming together. That's beautiful. And I can't ignore, and of course the lighting is making this absolutely difficult. Maybe just for the sake, we're just do this. There we go. That's a little better. The sacral energy of that orange. And that orange has kind of been your power color, if I'm not mistaken, kind of the red, orange, yellow, kind of those lower chakra energy colors have been very prevalent. Very prevalent. Marriage alone breaks so many generational curses. Our families instantly started to heal when they came together. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, and that's just a natural byproduct of two whole and complete individuals coming together and just, you know, vibing so well together. I love that. Oh, your nails are orange right now. Orange is my color for September. That's so cool. I love that. All right, we're gonna go to a bit of tarot, and before we close out, I know I've been just gushing this whole time. I'm so excited for you guys. Oh, this is so lovely. Yeah, the energy doesn't lie, and I just feel so, you know, it's like most people are so, I don't know what's the word, pessimistic. Like, okay, so you're getting married. Who cares? Everybody gets married, you know. A lot of people get married. It's just like, but like, no, this is special. This is not just, oh yeah, you gave me a ring. Like we're going through the motions. It's the next logical step. Like there's so much meaning and power and love and a huge healing and vibrational shift behind the coming together of your energies in not just, you know, physically, like you know, you've been a partner or partnered up to each other for a while now, but just that covenant that you're creating together, or promise, or unspoken agreement, or contract, whatever we want to call it, to come together to love each other is really, it's showing elevation. It's not showing, well, we're just doing, you know, this thing that people do when you've been together this long. No, this is something very sacred. And it's helping you overcome something where you did feel stuck, maybe even in past connections, past love, because we have the Ace of Cups kind of coming out here. But then we have two people coming together to create this. It's like 1 + 1 = 3 is kind of what this is giving, because you're whole and complete, he's whole and complete. And then the relationship itself creates this whole other vibe. So it's 1 + 1 = 3 rather than 2. And that comes across, I'll come across a relationship like this once in a very great while. It's not a common thing out there at all. So, and then we have 1 + 2, you know, that adds up to a 3. That's very funny. I just realized that. But look at the family tree here, and it's even pasted on the wall upside down, because this is the way, you know, it should be. It's like, yeah, it's right side up. And then like, what is this even? It's a cup flowing out, and then we have the tree upright. But then when you see things from this higher perspective, you can fill up your own cup and release any family wounds or traumas from the root level. You're not just putting band-aids on a lot of um, you know, just generational wounds. You're getting to the root cause, uprooting the trauma and getting it gone. I love that. Oh my gosh. Our families instantly started to heal. Yes, I read that. Healing my family. We broke down after my mama died. Oh, yeah. And 12 is our number. You can't make this up. You just can't make this up. That picture depicts everything I said I won't speak on. Okay. That's hilarious. So you can, I have timestamped this, so you can come back, and the chills haven't stopped. And normally, you know, especially when I read for you and some of the others here, like the chills are just nonstop. But today they're very powerful. Yeah, so if you need to go back and take any screenshots or whatever, and of course I'll timestamp this for you so you have it to look back on. Big hugs and big congratulations. That's so exciting. I'm so happy for you guys. And yeah, the energy doesn't lie. This is a very strong and vital connection, not only for you and you and him together and the family you may or may not create, depending what your plans are. Um, and then the extensions of your extended families, and not just that are still alive, but generations back, 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 back. There is a healing reverberating down both and all family lines because of the union that you two are creating here. And I know that sounds cheesy, but no, it's so true. It's so true. That was powerful. When I first got here, I was completely broken. Now I'm so healthy. It's so crazy. 5 years. It's 12/21. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you've come so far. Like, I'm so proud of you. And of course, Mama Monica is over the moon, proud of you. I mean, she always knew you had it in you, but to actually see you living your light is so empowering to her, even from beyond the veil. So very beautiful. Big hugs to you, Brianna. That is beyond exciting. I'm so happy for you. Oh, I love it. That is so cool. Yeah, sorry we kind of spoiled the surprise. You kind of knew something was coming in September, but you know, at least you were prepared, I guess. Oh, I love that though. That's so exciting. Very cool. Okay. So up next, we have Linda. Linda, go ahead and post your question, and we're going to get right into it for you. We have a 2144 timestamp for Linda. 44. Linda H. All right. So, need root canal. I am worried about this pain, healing, and cost. Is there a good time to have this done? Consultation is next Wednesday. Okay. So, Mars is currently in Virgo. Mars is the planet you want to see where it's at, what it's doing. So, Mars is in Virgo now, and it will be moving into Libra. These are, interestingly enough, these are not the best places. When Mars was in Virgo a couple years back, we're talking about 5 years ago at this point, or however long. It takes about 2 years to go through all the zodiac. So about every two years and a handful of days to months, Mars will be back in Virgo. That's what happened. That's where it was when COVID popped off. That's where it was when they tried to get the monkeypox thing to pop off. That's where it's currently at. It's going into Libra soon. Let me look when that is. But once again, Libra is not the happiest place for Virgo, or sorry, Libra is not the happiest place for Mars. That's what I'm trying to say. um, because it's an enemy sign as well. So let me see. Let me go to my. Okay, so some of my stuff is very messed up because I got a new phone and the order of things in my bookmarks has shifted. That is not what I'm looking for. I'm trying to find. Okay, either I'm just not seeing it or something. Let me go to, I think it's astrobix.com. I might just have to make a new one. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. So, I want to find the North Indian. Actually, I just want to know like today's. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I don't need to know the auras and all that. I just want like sorry guys, normally I just have a bookmark. It takes me right to it. I don't know the exact web address. It's got to be in here though. Let me try to find it. Cuz it's easy to find where Virgo. Oh, is this it? No. I get. Come on, help me out. It's astrobix.com, but I don't know where on their website. They have all sorts of options here. Okay, it's not that, it's not that, it's not that. Apparently I have a lot of them that start with V on here. Vedic guidebook, that's not it, is it? No. That's a dead link. Okay, they have deleted a lot of the internet. A lot of my bookmarks and stuff have been deleted. Ooh, I found it. I found it. Okay. Sorry, Linda. We haven't gotten to your question yet. This is not like we're not on a time crunch yet. I wanted to see where Mars was. Okay. So Mars right now currently is at the very last stages here of Virgo. And then it's going to go into Libra, which again is not the best placement. But then it goes into Scorpio, which is its home. But Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio can be violent. It's very interesting. So it's almost like holding off is in your best interest. But again, when you have something like that that needs done and the pain is there, it's like, what do I do? What do I do? I need to get this done. If you're a Scorpio rising, that makes a lot of sense to do a surgery when, because I would consider root canal a form of a surgery. When Mars would be transiting your second house, which would be Sagittarius. And if it's not painful, I'm seeing that you waiting a little bit longer is actually it's not going to hurt you in any way. Yeah, I'm seeing that waiting around September, we're in September. You're getting your consultation, Sagittarius season, which I'm seeing like Vedic, if you're Scorpio rising per Western astrology, then getting it done then is, when it's in Sagittarius per Western astrology, because whichever one resonates for you, do it during that Sagittarius season is what I'm trying to say. So, but let's just read your question and just see what the cards want to say. Worried about the pain, healing, and cost. Is there a good time to have this done? Yeah, I would say just waiting is going to be, yeah. And look, we've got Libra coming up, but it's about the balance of waiting this out a little bit. But if you were to do it during Libra, so Sagittarius happens during like November. It starts around November 22nd in Western astrology, because that's my mom's birthday. She's right on the cusp. She's been a cusp baby as far as I've always known. So November 22nd is the first day of Sagittarius season through around December 20th, 21st, somewhere in there. And then that kicks off Capricorn season per Western astrology. But I'm seeing here, if you get it done toward the end of Libra season, which would be, I'm seeing more into the like October timeline, into November, like October going into November. So once you're solidly into November, it feels like it's a good time. So November is like a really good time. Yeah, but I can see that it's scary, to get a root canal. And they put these, it's my one big trauma that I've had in, what do you call it? In dental stuff. They actually broke a file off in my jaw, and the guy left it. When I was 16 years old, I got a root canal. I was on Medicaid, I think it was called. And I heard him before he did it. He was talking to ladies like, oh, we're out of files. So I'm just going to reuse these used files because she's just a Medicaid patient. And I heard him say that. And if I had like, the foundation that I have now back then, there would have been a lawsuit. I mean, you can't do that. You can't treat people like that. He's still getting paid for the procedure, even if, it didn't come directly out of my pocket, but yeah, it was a whole thing. And it wasn't until I was 32 when they took out my wisdom teeth that they then took that out of my jaw. And I had to get like a whole implant tooth and everything. Like it was a nightmare. All that to say, I can see why there may be some anxiety, stress, all that fun stuff, but I don't see anything bad happening to you as a result of this. Like I see you're very protected. Things are going to go pretty smoothly. Interestingly enough, it's very weird. What's coming across is I just heard, do I even need this? Does she even need this? Do you even need this procedure? I guess that consultation can help, but I'm hearing if you can or want to get a second opinion just for your own anxiety or peace of mind, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. I will keep this in mind when scheduling dental work is a trauma for me as a kid. Okay, so that makes sense why I had to bring all that trauma from my childhood, well, teenagehood, up because it's a whole thing. Like from like 16, oh, I did go to the dentist once during college. I think it was around 2006. I went and they told me, okay, you need to have this and this and this and this. And then when I went, okay, after Boston was born. He was born when I was 29, but he was Wrigley. I wasn't pregnant with Wrigley yet, but Boston wasn't baby, but like I think it's like 6 months old. I mean, I guess that's still a baby, but not like newborn. When I got my wisdom teeth and they took that file out of my jaw, fun times, but that went very well, and I was just happy about it. I was happy about it. And the only reason that I bit the bullet, so to speak, and went in and had it done was because uh, I had an abscess on the wisdom tooth on my top right, and it was super intense pain, and that was an infection. So, all this being cleared with antibiotic, and my dentist referred me to a specialist. Yeah, yeah. So you may find that okay, maybe this clears up or something, but let's just see what the likelihood that you have to go through with this root canal. Um, Maybe not, because what they say and what actually needs to happen may be two different things. And we're going to kind of keep that in mind as we read on it. Ultimately, does Linda need, regardless of what's told to her, does Linda need this root canal to get this infection under control and just be best for her health in general? Is that what Linda needs? Again, it's like there's a lack here or something that it's just not adding up. That's what I'm getting. There's something that may be told to you because, like, this is just the procedure. If this happens, kind of like following the medical or dental playbook. Like, okay, if in this instance, we always go in this direction. So it's almost like there may be a way you can free yourself from having to have this done. And right as I said that, I was thinking of Raylene, Roots Restored Wellness. Funny, root canal, Roots Restored Wellness. I know she does have an oral facial balance session where there have been people with testimonials. I've never taken that session specifically. I probably should with my migraines, but I haven't taken a session from her in 8, 9 months. It's been a while. But I know Versha has taken plenty of different sessions with her. And Versha, actually, she pops in during your questions. She has consult or potential consult for her daughter to get some oral, like dental, potential braces or crowding issue with her teeth. I know it's a different issue than you're dealing with. But yeah, let me know. Yeah, no dental insurance. So I would say, Linda, if you are into quantum healing at all, look at Roots Restored Wellness and book her. She no longer does it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Versha, but she no longer does sessions where, she has to schedule them. Maybe you only have that session come up maybe once every 2 or 4 or 6 months. She does them on demand now. Like if you need that session, it will happen right then. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, Versha. Yep, they work if you're open to accept the energy work. Yeah, and just when working with any kind of healer that's not you, I always just say, have any protection that you need for your own energy and all of that. Yeah, all sessions are every day. Yeah, which is cool. Because you got to think quantum healing. The time is not what we've been told. So quantum healing works outside of time or within time and all the things. So I would say last I looked or last I knew, her basic sessions were around $77. They were 50 and then they went up to 77, I want to say in 2024. It may be more now. I don't know, because she's kind of been creeping up with the pricing and stuff because inflation has done what it's done. So everyone's had to raise their prices. And fun fact, I haven't raised my prices since 2021, early 2021. That's something I've been kind of wrestling with a little bit because you guys know me. I can't just do a quick 3-minute reading at the 11.11 price. I gotta like go on and on and on and like dig deeper and get more information. And yeah, so it's something I even struggle with. But the cost is $144 for some, and then 4-day sessions are $222, I think. Okay, yeah, so that might be a starting point even before you go in for this consultation, because again, you get this session, you go in for the consultation, and they tell you X, Y, or Z. And then, of course, your intuition, Linda, Linda, listen, Linda. Remember that meme, that kid? Listen, Linda, listen, Linda. Your intuition is very on point. So if something about this, and not just because, oh, maybe I'm just traumatized from a kid, and then try to gaslight yourself out of any feelings about it. But if you trust and listen to your intuition about what your next steps are, let that be your guide. Let that be your guide. And of course, if you have any other questions about it in the future, near future, um, you can always hit me up here on the live stream or through email, whatever you need, if you need any kind of more information or whatever. But it looks like you're going to be able to intuitively know what to do, when to do it, what the information they're giving you is, what you feel to be right within your own spirit. If you want to do quantum healing, just to see if you can take care of the quote unquote root cause of this without having to have a root canal. Yes, I was feeling like I wasn't 100% necessary, so I thought I'd check with you, but a second opinion may also work too. Yeah. Also, I don't know if like different holistic practitioners, I mean, since you don't have the dental insurance, I would think any kind of dental anything probably wouldn't be covered by insurance anyway. But if you went to a holistic holistic practitioner and just ask their opinion as far as root canals, because especially if you go in, look at the teeth, I think it's meridians. I don't know if the teeth roots, but every tooth in your head has a correlation to somewhere in the body. And fun fact, since there's an infection in one of these teeth, for some reason I'm feeling like it's more in the back to middle region of the mouth for you. So you find out the body correlation to that. There may be some healing that needs done in that area of the body, which is causing the inflammation and the infection in the tooth. And if you can address that also in the body, it may make that go away all on its own. I was feeling, I read that part. Yes, lower back right side. There you go. Very interesting. That's where I had mine, but it was I'll just show you guys. That tooth has a little screw in it. You can kind of see. I have one tooth behind that one, but that tooth right there. And it's like, if I knew then what I know now, I could have proceeded differently and done things differently and not went in for this nightmare of a session for a root canal. But weirdly enough, Linda, I don't see that if you did have to have a root canal that it would become this nightmare for you. I see things going very smoothly. So your heart knows, as my sister calls. As my sister's calling, I will have to kind of silence her for the time being, but we will be in contact shortly. Oh, same tooth for you. Very interesting. Yeah, that's my right side, bottom, second from the back. I mean, of course, the wisdom teeth took out, the way back, but those were pulled the same time. And again, if I had it to do over again, I probably would have tried to see if there's something I can do about the infection of that top right wisdom tooth, and then done some healing and cleansing to the body first, and then at last resort get all my wisdom teeth taken out, or at least just the one maybe. I think we've been kind of lied to about like, oh, you just need to get those wisdom teeth out, get them out, get them out, get them out. And the fact they're even called wisdom teeth. Well, I think they call them that because you get them when you're wiser, you're older and you're wiser. I could be wrong about that though. I don't know why they call them wisdom teeth, but that just makes the most sense to me. But anyway, you feel better. Thank you. Yeah. And I don't have like a definitive answer, like this is the exact thing to do, but I would say if you do have to schedule any kind of oral surgery or root canal, do it closer to November. And of course, if you have any other questions or concerns or insights between now and then and want to talk about it here, I'll be here. So yeah. All right. So let's get into what's going on. Katie, you're so welcome, Linda, anytime. Katie. Okay, we are at, oh, I jumped the gun. Okay, we're at 3930 for Katie. Okay. Katie. All right. And Bersha's donating. And of course, anything I say, entertainment purposes only. I don't have any medical training, nor am I trying to give any kind of medical advice. I probably should have said it at the beginning, but you guys know that, right? Yeah. All right. So, Versha wants to donate. Maybe I'll hold off on Katie's timestamp then. Unless you want to go last. It depends what you want to do, Versha. But either way, I've already started talking again, so I can amend that timestamp for Katie. Okay. Maybe I do just get into Katie's reading while she's donating and writing out her question. So 40 and 29 seconds, 40 minutes, 29 seconds. Okay. Here we go for Katie. Let's go to her question. Katie's question is, I hope you're feeling much better. I am. Thank you so much. Thank you. I would like a message from Stacy, please. I'll watch the live stream after work. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. Here we go. Thanks again for your donation. Let's get that message from Stacy to Katie. And let's start here. I don't know why I use this for someone else's, Brianna's question as well. And it just feels right. It just feels right for some reason. Start here. From Stacy to Katie. And we have spread the light. We have the 59, which adds up to 14, which adds up to a 5. And we have to talk to God. Okay, so I just heard coming to Jesus moment, Jesus take the wheel. There seems to have been a slight shift in her energy. She's still kind of going through this process, just with the kind of close family and, people in her household and, her immediate family, even if they don't live in the household with her. And this is very like blue up into, so like third eye going into crown chakra colors going on here. Again, my lighting is not the best to see that, but like kind of a indigo blue and then a purple. There we go. They kind of almost look like the same color here, but I can assure you they are different. They do look different in this lighting though. So it does feel like she is really searching more to that spiritual side, especially because, maybe the things going on in the world, the things going on in her personal life, it really does feel like she's doing some soul searching right now, not just in like the physical realm as far as, okay, what are my next steps in the physical realm, but like actually spiritually, like what is it? What's my purpose? What do I want to be experiencing? What do I want to do in life? And then we have the rebel card on the back. So that is so fitting. It's like, she's just going to give no F's, do what she wants, take no crap. Like that's kind of the energy she's coming into. And she was kind of there, I want to say around March, April. It felt like she was like, okay, I'm just going to live my life and have fun. I don't care what this person in my life says, that person in my life says. I'm just going to do what I want. And then she kind of got derailed because people in her life were kind of acting a fool, so to speak, that it kind of threw her off her plans, her intention to just live life for herself. Because then she started feeling guilty, started thinking she was being selfish, all these things. So let's see anything else we can get. A message from Stacy to Katie. And of course, every time this bit of guilt does come up as far as literally not reaching out. And she's like, I need to do better. I just need to reach out. And then it's interesting in this, of all the cards I have, I don't think any other Queen of Swords has the Ace of Cups tipped over. So it's almost like she feels like, well, what if Katie's kind of moved on? What if she's got more other friends? What if, she doesn't want to be my friend anymore because it's been so long since I've reached out? Like, she kind of is talking in her own mind or her head about like, maybe I'm not it for her anymore. Or maybe, she's like, Stacy who? So there are maybe some doubts or slight fears that maybe you don't even want to hear from her anymore because it's been so long. Let's see anything else. Yeah, those fears are definitely there. And they're closer to the surface. They're not just, okay, we got slippery energy here. They're not just buried down. Like they're coming closer to the surface. Okay, and then we have the Chariot. It's like she's about to make a move of some kind or wants to make a move, but then here you go. These doubts keep coming in. And, Queen of Swords, it can be speaking, communicating, but it can also be the thought process. Remember we used to be like, someone's crazy. And we're like this. It does feel like the thought process. And it's like what she's thinking isn't even true, but like there are fears, there are worries behind the fact that maybe you don't want her moving in your direction or you in her direction or whatever. Like, as far as where you're coming from, you're just kind of like, yeah, no, I'm kind of over that. Even though that's not the case. There are fears. And then she'll kind of be like, no, Katie's not the type. Like, she would probably be more than willing to hang out. So she's seeing both sides of it, is really what this feels like. But there may be a move made. Again, this is feeling very much like Libra season. And we have the number 7. And Libra season, per Western astrology, kicks off September 20 something, 20th, 21st, 23rd, somewhere in there, through October, I want to say, I don't know, 20th, somewhere in there. A lot of these switchover dates are around the 20th, except April, I think, is the 15th from Aries, Pisces to Aries, I think. I could be wrong. Maybe it's closer to the 20th. I don't remember. I'm more in the Vedic placements or times, which come much later because we're 24 degrees past where we're stuck at that Aries, hooked to the seasons rather than the actual constellations and what have you. So there's a move being made or her thinking about, and then she gets in her own way, thinks, no, what if Katie doesn't want to hear from me? Hi, Michelle. Awesome. We'll get into your question. We have Versha on deck, and then we'll get into your question. Let's just see anything else that Stacy wants Katie to know. Aw, there's on her end especially, there's still a lot of, love, attention, affection. Like she wants to put that toward you. And she does want a new beginning. Aw, we have the Fool and the Lovers. So she's going to be making a decision. And of course, that Chariot card also is a card of choice. What direction do I go? What wolf do I feed? The one that says Katie doesn't want anything to do with me, or the one that says, no, Katie will give me a chance and we can like make a friendship here. So she's debating, maybe, playing a game of chess in her own head about things right now. Maybe one day she's feeling a bit negative, like, oh, she's probably moved on. Maybe I should just move on and figure something else out. But then she's like, no, I would really like to have a friend like her in my life. Like, she wouldn't have written me off just because I didn't get a hold of her. Life's been busy. It's been crazy, whatever. But then there's this other part of her that's like, okay, I need to make a decision. I need to take a leap of faith and have a new beginning. Yeah. So I do see her. That's her ultimate wish, would be to have this new beginning, to be able to, look what's on the back of the deck, just sitting over here. Stick with it. To just stick with it and keep going in your direction, or at least start in your direction yet again. Because it's going to lead to some really exciting things, rather than her just feeling guilty that she hasn't reached out, or, what's Katie going to think of me because it's been so long since she's heard from me, I should say. And then we have you are safe. So this is just her reassurance from her, or almost from you to her, or from her own spirit to herself, that no, you're safe. Like, it's fine. And it's funny because this you are safe card, it looks very much like another card in this deck that's called A New Start, which maybe I can find it. It's got the same butterfly. Yellow butterfly might be a message or a symbol you can look for. I'm going to find it. I think it's also a pink header card. I could be wrong, though. Maybe it's blue. I don't know. For some reason, I want to say pink, but I'm going through it. It's always the last card you look at, isn't it? And then the logical part of me is like, well, of course it is, because you don't need to look anymore. So where is it? Did I completely... Oh, found it. Start anew. So it's similar. It's like that butterfly took flight. It's almost like she's resting or kind of debating. Kind of that debate between this and that Chariot card. Where'd it go? Here it is. Before she finally takes flight and has that new beginning. New beginning. New beginning. And I know we didn't draw this card, but seeing this card inspired me to look for this card. And it doesn't always do that, because I know I have that nugget of information tucked in, but when I pull this card, I don't always have to talk about this card. I have in the past, if you recall. Some of you might, some of you are like, I don't know, maybe, sure, why not? But yeah, there's similar color schemes and, whatever. So I hope that resonated for you, Katie. And yeah, it really feels like she's very close to a breakthrough. Again, this could be anytime the rest of kind of more the second half of this month going into October, but it could even be going into November because she hasn't fully like pulled the trigger, made that choice yet. To know exactly the time frame of it. As I say, time is like that rubber band. It can stretch, in or out depending on actions we take or don't take. So it can be a whole thing. All right. So let's get into Bersha's question over on chat or text. All right. So I'm experiencing a strong pain in the center of my chest under my breast, almost the same acid reflux pain. It's since last week. I'm unable to eat or drink. Oh no. I become extremely weak. The guidance I got was that my body is going through a major transformation due to healing. I did. I'm overwhelmed. I burp, fart, motions at times, sometimes constipation, headaches, shoulder pain, legs hurt bad at times. I mean, I do my best to stay calm, but S and his ego are fighting and clashing, just pushes me toward nervous breakdown with the body overwhelm. How long will this last? Oh my gosh. It's like, oh, deep breath. And then right as I did that, I'm like, connect to breath, connect to breath, connect to breath. Breath of life, breath of life, breath of life. Yeah, there is a major transformation going on. And so many of us that have this spiritual transformation, it also comes a lot of times with a physical transformation, sometimes for the worse before it gets better. But what I'm seeing, what I heard after I read that was something about breatharian. Not to say that you could just exist by breathing and whatever and not eating ever again, but there is a recalibration to like when you are feeling okay to go back like on solid foods and you're implementing foods back into your life again in a consistent way. It's like you're changing your habits that are going to be more beneficial. And of course, you're going to have to follow your intuition on that. But let's just see if we can get a timeline or a time frame of how long this will last. Okay, so the worst has transpired. So the new beginning is imminent because you can't get any more deader than dead, or that Ten of Swords is kind of a mini death card, not a physical death, but as far as a transformational, the rebirth has already started, is what I'm hearing. So the worst is behind you. Not to say again in the future there may be another layer of deep transformational healing that you're doing that will then feel like yet another Ten of Swords moment. Because when does it ever stop? When does it ever stop? And you put that in tandem with like the mass emotional loosh harvest they just got from this big ASS nation. It's like ass nation, ass I nation. I don't want to say the words. Again, I don't know all the details of it. I didn't look into it. I don't want to look into it. I could see coming a mile away what a massive polarizing. The person that got unalived was already a very polarizing figure. Either you loved him or hated him, or were kind of maybe like me, like I've heard the name, but I don't know what he stands. I knew he was more on one end of the political spectrum than the other for sure, but I didn't know like what his voice sounded like or anything. Like I don't know anything about this guy really, outside of he's a big supporter on right versus left or something like that. But just knowing how polarized everything is already politically, with the religion, politics, just ways of living, everything's already so polarized that something like this happens and there's a huge emotional harvest. And a lot of and already we're in sacrifice season. This is a big thing that happens every single year. You will notice around kind of the end of August, it really kicking off around the 8/8 portal, Lionsgate, all this stuff. It's sacrifice season, really. Whether we have the eclipses going on or not, but the eclipses just add additional fuel to the fire. I mean, look at 9/11 in 2001, massive sacrificial event happened during that time too. Every year you're going to see craziness pop off this time of year. It's just what happens because these are big sacrifice portals. Another big sacrifice portal is like around Easter time, that death and resurrection. These themes will play out over and over and over. And it's almost like they're getting a big loosh harvest around the physical, like garden harvests that we would have as far as our leading up to that autumn equinox or spring equinox if you're in the southern hemisphere, but then also leading up to the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere, and then that would be the fall equinox in the southern hemisphere. So all of this is happening in tandem with the healing that you did. There's just a huge energetic soup going on. But I just saw, talking about all this harvest stuff, I just heard and saw separating the wheat from the chaff, which is a biblical thing, but it's separating out the spiritual from the zombies or what have you. Because this is a dead and fallen world, it's just taking a lot of time to happen. It's the writing's on the wall. It can't last forever. It can't go on like this forever. Because people are waking up. It just can't keep going on. Yeah, this is almost giving like something's got to give. The Four of Cups is just very much like, I'm focused on what's going on here, that I don't even realize there's a new beginning here. And this is a card of healing. It's a card of self-love, self-care, new love, all of these things. And then I was going to say, and then I saw your comment here. I was going to say, even the polarization of you being this being of light, living with someone who's very entrenched in the worldly ways, we'll just put it that way. That's like a whiplash pendulum swing every single moment of the day that just intensifies the pain, the feelings, all of this. Yeah, I'm literally eating cucumber only. I was so overwhelmed that I'm unable to connect with my intuition. Yeah, and that can happen when you're just so physically drained and exhausted. It's almost like that Maslow's hierarchy of needs takes over yet again. If you don't know what that is, look into it. It's a pretty powerful statement of, if they can keep us looping in, having to pay bills, having to continue to go to work and be stressed out that we're not going to pay those bills. We're very much in, I'll just pull it up to show you, because to try to explain it, it's just easier if I show you the graph, I guess. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I learned this back in college, and it's been probably the one thing from college I learned that I still talk about and apply in my own life all the time. So it's a conceptualization of our needs that motivate human behavior, which was proposed by the American psychologist Abraham Maslow. There are 5 sets of basic needs that are related to each other in a hierarchy. So you can't jump from 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 or just start out right at 5. You have to go up and up and up and up. Again, it's another pyramid scheme here on the matrix. We're not used to those at all. No, we're not. So they keep us in kind of these lower 3. And funny enough, the lower 4 are the associated colors of the lower 4 chakras. So keep our physiological needs, which would be our breathing, our food, water, shelter, clothing. Some might in sleep, and some people say that, maybe sex falls into that need, other people not so much. And then we have safety and security, which is the second tier of that. Health, employment, property, family, and social ability. And then love and belonging. If you're starving out on the streets, maybe developing a friendship is kind of not at all on your radar. You know what I'm saying? So these things have to kind of build onto each other. And when you're basically in survival mode, it makes that self-actualization of morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, meaning, and inner potential. And inner potential is your spiritual connection. It makes that almost impossible. And then, of course, the middle one there that I didn't talk about would be, or love and belonging is the third one, which is friendship, family, intimacy, sense of connection, which again, there are people that I know that consider the intimacy factor part of the bottom rung of the ladder. Most women will put it probably third or fourth for sure. It's like, if these basic needs aren't being met, I can't open up, sexually. A lot of women especially feel that way, but men are more, everything can be burning down around me and I could still be like up and at it, so to speak. Okay. So the self-esteem is the green one there, and it says confidence, achievement, respect of others, the need to be a unique individual. Again, none of that matters if you don't have food, if you can't breathe. I would say the most physiological need we all have, first and above everything else, would be our breath. Because we can be deprived of breath for minutes, most of us, for food of days, or sorry, water of days, food of weeks, and shelter, clothing, sleep. Sleep is another one that if you don't get that within days, things can go really bad, really fast. Um, and funny enough, they are actually also the astral realm is a complete dumpster fire. I think it, if you ask me, I feel like it has merged with our physical reality. It's almost like just on loop during our sleeping times, and things can be still seem crazy because it's the dream world or whatever. But we had the emperor come out with that 4 of cups. It's about you taking power, you taking charge of yourself and saying, okay, I understand all this is going on, but I'm going to connect. I'm going to take care of these needs one by one by one by one and get back to that emperor of self-actualization at the top. And it's not going to be just this overnight thing. It's usually a process. There's polarization in my own home. I mean, look at S. And to make it more tough, Spirit says it's his free will. Well, is there free will at all? Well, it's interesting because I think there is maybe not a lot of free will until we have that self-actualization. And then we can start stepping out of the blueprint of the numerology, the human design, the astrology that's been laid before us that basically tells us we don't have free will. Because if we had free will, it wouldn't resonate at all because we'd just be out here free willing it up all day, every day. But most of us are compelled to the blueprint of our astrology, human design, numerology. We really are. We're kind of held to that until we can transcend it from a spiritual place. It never happens in a physical place. Although if you transcend it from a spiritual place, you can start to see the results of it in your physical reality. But it doesn't start physical, then go to spirit. It's always spirit first, is what's showing. So I was actually, I would love to get some break. It feels like I'm being turned inside out in my body. I was actually literally saying that I want out. There has to be a limit to all this effery. We had 3 fights in just 8 days and nothing is giving away in his ego. Oh my gosh. Let's just see any advice. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of emotions that are purging. And again, a lot of this is psychic attack. And a lot of the ways that these psychic attacks can get in when you've done so much healing is through the people in your life. So it would be people in your life, especially S. He's a very easily controlled puppet. Even with the new spirit coming in, the ego has such a, I wouldn't even say the ego has such a stronghold. These entities have such a stronghold to use the ego, which will bypass the free will aspect of the spirit because the ego doesn't yet understand, oh, I have free will. Like, I don't have to just show up in these same old patterns all the time. I can get sick of my own BS and stop it. Maybe not overnight. Again, this is a process, but people who have any kind of addiction that want to come clean or get clean and overcome that addiction, all the people in their life can be for years shouting from the rooftops, you need to get help, you need to get clean. And they don't get it until they get it, until they don't make that choice until they decide, or their spirit will somehow come in and override, which may happen. That's how most of us wake up. We don't wake up on our own quote unquote free will. It happens because something in our spirit is like, okay, it's time. We got to do this. The ticking time bomb of waking up is happening for a lot of people. And even after we wake up, we can still feel kind of lost in the sauce around here because it's like, what is even true? Like, we're being lied to. And then just even trusting, just seeing the rise of AI in the video arena in the last year even has become so real looking that you can't even, they used to say seeing is believing. You can't even believe what you see anymore. Even with your physical eyes, like if you're at an event, say that ASSI Nation that happened, you could be at that physical event and see with your physical eyes something happen, but who's to say it wasn't a hologram? Because they're having these, I think they did it with Elvis, Michael Jackson, Tupac, where they'll have a hologram of that singer on stage, and it looks like you're watching that singer on stage right in front of your eyes. Like, your eyes would tell you, Tupac is in front of me right now. They've had that technology for a long time, and then Project Bluebeam, you can look into that. So we can't even trust our physical eyes anymore. That's why we have to fall back to the third eye. We have to see beyond. We have to find, is this truth? Does this actually resonate? Is this truth? And because our physical eyes are going to start and already have started to deceive us, as far as especially the people who are unawakened, they'll start really believing what they're seeing. And that's why I really like the some of the justice cards will have like the blind. In this deck specifically, I think have the blind. It's more about the third eye. No, not in this deck. It's gosh, what deck is that I have where she's got the kind of bandage over her? I don't remember, but it's the justice card in that deck. But yeah, seeing is no longer believing. It's more what you see from your spirit to determine if something's actually real. I mean, spirit was forgiving enough to make a swap. Then why not pull the rug under his feet and wake him up? Did I really sign up to be pushed through the horrible mess of all time? 44 years is enough, right? And that may just be, I mean, who knows? I'm just hypothetically speaking, what if all of this is happening to push you to your next elevation, which has nothing to do with him or being in his house anymore? Just hypothetically, because we can only take so much until the discomfort of where we're at, or sorry, the discomfort of making a major change in our lives is more comfortable than staying where we've been. And even though it's uncomfortable, like we're used to it, so we'll just keep putting up with it until that becomes so uncomfortable that making that leap of faith into something completely new and different is the more comfortable option, if that makes sense. Yeah, we have the death card on the back. So, I mean, it just may be that, this new spirit's coming in and nothing's I mean, you may seemingly see some changes, but like nothing's massively changing. It's basically saying, and I know this is easier said than done, but it's basically saying, focus on you, focus on you, focus on you, focus on you, focus on you. And not what you need to do in response to what he did, what he said, the ish storm that he's creating in this household, but what is in your best interest? What and not just you, but also Kashvi by way of you. And that will lead to wish fulfillment, because you will know intuitively what direction to go, what steps to take. It's a process. It's not all going to happen overnight, but there's a very definitive ending for all of this, that's exactly what you want, is an ending to this misery, this pain, this physical torment that's been going on. You want an ending to that. So to get the death card in this questioning is exactly what you want, because after that death comes that rebirth. So let's just I know we're kind of going long on this, but I just want to see. I told him this Monday morning that you have been threatening me for so many years with divorce, but now I want it for sure. I am not sure what I will do, but just have to go. That's not the right. Oh, wait, the moment that news fell on my ear, I said there will be a story cooked up to hypnotize everyone. So no, thank you to the story. Yeah, absolutely. I haven't looked into any of the theories or storylines, but I did go on Facebook real quick to check out my aunt's pictures. And before I knew it, there were at least 10, just scrolling, just 10 things about this guy, which I don't have any other kind of political anything on my feed because I don't engage in it. I don't click on it. I don't read it. I scroll right past it when I realize what it is. And I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled, and I'm like, no, what am I doing? I'm not even going to read these. I'm not going to look at these, but you saw RIP and then the dates and okay, he's gone. And then I just went up and searched my aunt's name with the little finder, went directly to her page, saw her pictures, and then I dipped the F out. I'm not sticking around for an emotional harvest of my energy. Just not doing it. Nope. No, siree Bob. Atmosphere for her, and not the kind of, that's not the right atmosphere for her, and not the kind of relationship to see as a base to form a view how marriage is or a husband is, etc. Yeah. And that might be one of the ways, who knows, again, hypothetically, that might be one of the ways you are breaking these generational cycles, is to let her know this isn't okay. My mom couldn't break it. Her mom couldn't break it. Her mom, back. But I'm going to be the one to break it. So you don't have to marry and continue the cycle. I mean, you can still marry, but this cycle won't continue because I broke the cycle. So you don't have to do it. That could be what this is leading to. Again, hypothetically, You're the only one that's going to know what this is leading you to. But if you're at the point where you're knowing and realizing that if he doesn't change, and if he just stays in ego and is easily controlled by the agenda, by these controllers, by these entities, at some point you realize this is not for me anymore, and that's when you duck out, move on, whatever. Instead of waiting for him to change, you be the one to make the change. That's potentially what's coming through. But the way you make that change, it may be that you guys just come to this resolution that you don't bother me in these negative ways. You know, we're basically roommates who are legally bound to each other through marriage, and you do your thing, I do my thing. Or it may look like, you know, separation, you know, whatever that looks like for you. But to continue to stay as things are, it's just going to be the same thing every day, every day, every day, every day. Maybe things will get better for a few days, but then, you know, it's back. And then it's like cycle, continue, cycle, continue, cycle, continue, unless I choose to break it. But the choice is yours. The choice is there. And I'm seeing, I know you may not see this right now, but I'm seeing from a more detached bird's eye view type of perspective, the absolute gift that all of this is. Because it's pointing out what you know you don't want for life. And maybe you don't know exactly what you do want, but you know this isn't it. And there are changes and shifts you can make just by focusing on you and Kashvi that can flip this thing on its head. Or maybe you're, you know, finding opportunities that are taking you in a different direction to where you don't have to live with him anymore. I mean, again, it can play out in many different ways, and there's not just one set in stone way that this has to play out. Let's see. Yeah, we are bringing out the worst in each other. Once I am out, he can have whoever and do whatever with her. But this is so opposite to what the tone was in the year beginning. Now it's back to square one. I told him that up front. We are separate people living in the same house, but it's not cracking him up. He's still not accepting it. I am not sure where to go or what to do. Yeah, and that just may be you literally come to that surrender point. Not that fatalistic surrender, like, okay, I guess this is my life. I'll just, you know, continue to be verbally and emotionally abused by S. Not like that. But this surrender point of, okay, spirit, what are my next steps? Start putting those signs, symbols, synchronicities out in front of me. Send me the opportunities I need to be able to either improve what's going on here or move in a different direction or whatever that looks like. But spirit, you can call, much like you were trying to call in more of, you know, this new spirit for him, you can call in more of your own spirit for you and start getting stepping stones to whatever's in your best interest. Because a lot of times when we tell spirit or our own spirit, hey, you know, help me fix this or help me do the best I can in this scenario. Well, maybe the best in the scenario you're currently in is those slightly good days. Maybe that is the best you can get in this scenario. Maybe not, because there is a new spirit here. The energy has shifted, but it's like still trying to hold on with like that white knuckle grip to the past version from that ego. And of course the principalities, working entities working through that ego, they're basically putting or shoving that new spirit to the back of the closet so it can't come out and be known. Maybe through certain moments, especially like maybe when he is like not conscious, like when he's sleeping, you may feel the presence of that spirit even more, because that consciousness with the energy, the entities are taking it, you know, more to what would, I guess, once consider the astral realm, but whatever that is now, kind of merged with this current reality. I don't even know how to explain that, but yeah, I was saying this to spirit. I know more of my I am presence came in. That's why I have so many symptoms. I merged with my I am presence completely. There you go. And your I am presence is like the vibration of you being connected to S. The I am presence is saying there is a huge misalignment here. So, and it's not asking you to dip down to his level. Absolutely not. It's asking you to hold that light and either bring him up to your level by holding that light, or deciding, okay, this isn't compatible. I'm out. I'm going a different direction. Whatever that looks like. Again, you may still be under the same roof, just doing your own thing. Who knows? Who knows exactly? But the way things are and the way things have been, there's a shift, and especially merging with more of that I am presence. It doesn't want, you know, that I am that you are doesn't want to be in this BS anymore, you know? Yeah. Well, I hope we at least gave a little help here. we didn't really answer when all this, well, we kind of did, because it was like, yeah, it's not going to last long. The worst of it's behind you. But yet at the same time, there may be another cycle down the road where we're back in. But as far as the brunt of what you've currently been going through, the worst is behind you. Yeah. And then look, there's so many new timelines available that you don't even have to go down this cycle again. Or you can, but maybe there's a different outcome next time. Or. But as I always say with the Seven of Cups, the underlying message of this card is a card of hope. There are options. It's not just that you're tied to one thing or another thing. There are, I'd say, at least 7 different options, opportunities when you get the Seven of Cups, that you're not just tied or married to one outcome. But this is ultimately what your spirit's looking for, is a deep emotional connection with the person you're with and your daughter and your family, and, to be one big happy family. Whether that's possible or not with S, I guess, again, we have the death card on the back of the deck yet again. It doesn't mean the connection itself has to end, but the way that you've been connecting there's no more connection in that way. It's almost like what I'm seeing like a maze, and there may be multiple ways to get to the end of the maze, and the way that you've been going has reached a dead end. Or it's somehow crumbled off of the maze completely, and you can't revisit that same way anymore and it get you any kind of satisfaction or connection or love. So it's like finding a whole new way to connect or reach him, or you're just finding your way to the end of the maze and going a new direction completely. It could be. I'm going to do that. I told him, you may throw fit or call anyone you want. Kay, I am done here. But did he get any of it? I do feel bad for what he is going through, but man, I cannot take this anymore. Yep, exactly. I've reached a dead end. Yeah. And sometimes when it comes to that point where you just surrender to your spirit, it's like that other spirit, S being this case, senses that and realizes you're done. Like, you're done. Like, it's over. It's done for good. This is his last chance. Like, that's what this feels like, is that could be his wake-up call. You finally deciding, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. Might be his. And you've said that. You've said that to him, but it's almost like he can't feel that that's even a potential, because he's like, well, where's she going to go? Like, that's the energy coming forward from him in those instances, is like, well, she may say she wants a divorce or wants to leave, but like, where's she going to go? She's just going to be here. So it's almost like he's taking for granted the fact that you're kind of stuck there. But it doesn't always have to be that way. There may be an opportunity that comes your way that frees you from being stuck where you're at with him. He doesn't know that. You don't know that. I don't know that. There could be something coming in. And the reality of him realizing that you actually can leave, you do have an option to leave and can thrive and be the best version of yourself if you do that. That might be what scares him straight, as far as rising to the occasion. These are all hypotheticals. Again, with that Seven of Cups coming through, there are many different ways this can play out. Yeah. Yeah. I will ask for that option from spirit. Yeah. Because once you've kind of come to that realization in human form and logical form that, like, this is a dead end, like, I can keep doing the same thing, but the definition of doing the same thing and expecting a different result is insanity. And I don't want to be the insane one in this insane asylum that we're in here. I want to be the sane one. So I'm choosing something different. Yeah. Yeah, we did go way beyond. Thank you so much. No, you're welcome. Again, it's a me problem, not a you problem. Because I'm like, ooh, let's dive deeper. Ooh, let's ask this. Ooh, there's a little thread over here. I need to pull it. I need to tug on it a little bit. So it's totally a me thing. I just can't stop most of the time. Sometimes, like, the answer is clear cut. It's right there. And then there's others that are a little more convoluted, a little more stuck, that I just need to kind of tease them out a little bit, or they're a little more complicated to where there's multifacets to it. That Seven of Cups energy, Oh, questions and PayPal. Thanks for letting me know that, Michelle. Awesome. So Michelle has a full read. So how will I progress in the gym in the near future? And when can I expect to be lifting heavier weights again? I'm incorporating more stretching and hip exercises to help reduce my back pain. I'm hoping this will help me completely heal my back to be more flexible and one day get back to squatting and doing what I love. Love it. Yes, you are just ready for change here, ready for shift. And I just heard winds of change are here. So what I'm seeing, this is not you resting and having to take even more time away from being able to do what you want with this. Not at all. What I'm seeing this is you being very careful and resting between not every set that you do, but like every day that you do your exercise, you're also stretching, before, and then you do your exercise and then you're stretching or kind of winding down after. And there may even literally be you're using like Epsom salt to soak in the bath with the, really help those muscles build or repair after, the workout. But this is about taking breaks when you know your body needs that break or that rest. And again, this doesn't mean you need to take weeks and weeks or months and months off, but just certain breaks between workouts can be all the difference for you. Instead of just trying to push through and get it done and, oh, I don't feel very recovered from last time, but like got to keep on that schedule. This is about more listening to your intuition than just trying to stick to a routine, a regime, or a schedule of some kind, if that makes sense. But let's ask these questions kind of one by one here. So in the near future, when can I expect to be lifting heavier weights again? When is this going to be coming up? Okay, so 5 of Cups. Weirdly enough, I'm seeing this as December's energy. And that's where the disappointment comes in, because it may be like, well, today's September 12th. Like, I want to be there by this time next month, which is October. But then there's October, November, December 5th. December 5th feels around that time. And again, you can stretch and bend time. If you're taking care of yourself between workouts, I see you being able to reach this actually sooner than later. You might be able to move this timeline up about 2 weeks. So 2 weeks before December 5th. 2 weeks before December 5th. I still see, though, no sooner than that, because your body, it's like a mind, body, spirit connection is repairing from that past back injury. And you don't want to stretch too far past what your body should or could do, because you could re-injure. And that's the last thing you want to do. So taking it slow and steady is kind of the approach this is telling you. December isn't bad. Okay, good. Yeah, I lost spirit about, I read that for Bersha. So yeah, I would say about 2 weeks before December 5th through around December 5th, you're going to start noticing you're able to up that dosage, so to speak, in the weightlifting area. Incorporating more stretching and hip exercises to reduce back pain. I'm hoping this will help me completely heal my back to be more flexible and one day get back to squatting and doing what I love. Yeah, let's tune into just these specific stretches and hip exercises. Okay. I actually really love this. I love this a lot. Okay. Yes, you're healing. You're healing. And then the other two came out in reverse, which is absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay. And I'll tell you why. So that injury is definitely in the past. It's something you're reversing as much as one can, reverse a damage that was done. You're able to kind of get back to good is what this is giving. And then when it's the Two of Pentacles upright, it's like you're just throwing everything, all the energy you have at something to keep something in balance, because the second you take a break, pull back, stop, it all comes crumbling down. But the fact this is in reverse means you're more balanced, much more balanced in your approach to not go gung-ho, balls to the wall. I need to be where I was, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Now I need to be there now. It's more about the mindset and the attitude, and just going into this in okay, I'm building my way there. I will get there. That's not even a question. You will arrive where it is you're looking to arrive. Absolutely, Michelle. You keep going. Push yourself when you feel the need to push yourself, but pull back and give yourself that rest and relaxation when intuitively you're feeling that is needed as well. It's a balancing act. And I'm actually seeing you being able to get those gains, so to speak, by taking the breaks that your body is asking for, rather than, consistently lifting every day and, pushing yourself, pushing yourself, pushing yourself. No, you push yourself to not past the limit, but to the limit. Then you take your break and your recovery. Then you come back and you push yourself to your limit. Then you take your recovery. Where what I'm seeing is energetically before, there may have been this, especially when you really were getting into it before the injury, there was almost this excitement, like, oh, I'm seeing those gains. I'm seeing the results in the mirror. I'm feeling really good, that you pushed yourself to the limit, and then it slightly went beyond the limit, and then boom, back injury. And then, the years since that, it felt like almost like this backslide. But you're going to be able to surpass where you were when that injury happened. I absolutely see that as your outcome, and without re-injury. And in fact, I see repair. There is repair here, Michelle. So you're going to get there, and it's a slow and steady progress. And about 2 weeks before December 5th through around December 5th is when I see you being able to kind of step up. Where's your limit? You're going to be able to bump it up a little and push yourself a little bit more, add a little more weight. And then maybe, again, sometime in February, you're pushing yourself a little bit more, adding a little bit more weight. But you're going to know intuitively when that time is. And it doesn't have to look like, well, I've been 3 months on this schedule or this routine, this regime, this regimen, whatever you want to call it. Now I have to be on that next thing. This is more about you following your body and all of this, rather than feeling like you have to stick into some mold of, well, by this amount of months, I should be at this point. Sometimes those graphs or that information can be helpful, but I would say for you specifically, Michelle, use it more as kind of a loosely planned out roadmap for a road trip, rather than set in stone, have to do it on this schedule. If you need to take a detour or a little bit more of a, maybe we're staying an extra day at this stop that we had planned to only stay 3 days. Now we're staying 4. Customize it to you. That's really what I'm seeing here, is customizing this. Yeah. I was hoping to maybe one day get a trainer, but no one is calling to me yet. Brianna's back. Hello. Yeah, it's been a long healing journey. Just feeling like I'm doing this all alone and doing research all alone. It's just been a long road. Yeah, and especially when you feel like you're all on your own, it can feel lonely. It can feel like almost like if I had someone to work out with, or like a workout buddy, workout partner, even if it wasn't you taking that leap to get that trainer, sometimes just having that almost like accountability buddy that has also kind of got your back or looking out for you, no pun intended, would maybe be beneficial. And there may be someone that you're meeting at the gym, or if these feels feminine, female energy, you're meeting at the gym, or someone you're talking to in life, and then maybe you like start becoming gym buddies or something like that, to where you kind of keep each other accountable, but you're not pushing each other beyond the limit. Maybe to the limit, sure, but not beyond that limit. All right, closing statements, advice, wisdom, guidance, slippery energy, but it didn't fall all the way down. So we have 3 of wands, but it's in reverse. That's the way I caught it. This card also wants to come up. And we have 7 of wands. Okay. So it's almost like you're going to have to be on the defensive, where maybe certain plans you had may need to be amended, shifted, changed. Again, talking about a detour, or needing a little bit extra time to recover, or to do this one thing or that one thing. But don't feel like you're doing anything wrong. You're actually defending yourself and putting yourself in the best position by maybe rethinking some of the plans that you had. Let's see, anything else that needs to come out as the outcome here for Michelle? You're back on the track. You're back on track, and your successful outcome. This is always a card about successful outcome. And even if you have to take a slightly different plan or approach, direction than you originally had hoped or planned, you're still going to arrive where you need to arrive when you need to arrive there. You're still going to move forward and hit your goals. This is also giving every time I pull this card, it's very Emperor energy as well. It's about taking power, taking control of your own destiny, your own workout routine, your own body. You're the one in charge. You're not just blindly following what these other people are saying, especially when it doesn't resonate with you. But if there's something that someone's saying and it does resonate with you, you can kind of pluck that out and apply that to your own journey. The chariot is about the journey. So it's really also not just about arriving at that destination, but it is about the journey to take you where you need to be and enjoying that journey. And celebrating. And look on the back of the deck, we're coming full circle yet again. The healing card. There's healing here. So you're absolutely going to be able to do what you set out to do. And funny, we're talking about all these cars and, the chariot's a car card. The Six of Swords had a car. And then this is emotional fulfillment. You're gaining a lot of emotional fulfillment by moving forward on your goal of, increasing those the weights that you are lifting, healing your back, getting those gains, feeling really good about yourself. It's going to have a lot of emotional, connectedness to what you're doing. You're going to feel good about it, really good. It's not just going to be, well, I got the gains, I've healed my back, and I feel empty now. No, there's a lot of emotional fulfillment in this journey. But it's going to be a journey. It's not just going to be, well, I've been in this for 3 months and I've accomplished everything I set out to do. It's definitely going to be a little bit stretched out, a little longer than maybe you're hoping, but it's all going to be worth it, Michelle. So follow your intuition. That is the main takeaway. Follow your intuition with everything along the way. If you're just not feeling it one day, and it's not trauma creating excuses for you to try to back out and keep you held back, but it's legit, I think I need to rest today, follow that guidance. But then if it's supposed to be a rest day, but intuitively you're feeling like, no, I think I need to go, I need to work out, follow that intuition. Your intuition is going to be your compass, your navigation, your roadmap. It's going to be all of it for you. Yeah, it's been a long healing journey, just feeling like I'm doing this all alone and doing research all alone. It's just been a long road. Yeah. But you're going to come out on top. You're going to be very proud of yourself. If I could say one thing, yeah, I was to say the Knight of Cups that I already put back away, but the Page of Cups is there's an element of being really proud of yourself. And there is an element of healing your inner child along the way. So there may be just some trauma from the past that was able to kind of create that weak point for you to injure your back in the first place. So as you kind of are working out and healing this inner child, it's also healing this back injury. And you're going to be able to push beyond that. Not push like, oh, gotta push even harder. You're getting right up to the limit and then backing off, right up to the limit and backing off. But over time, you doing that will push the limit farther, then farther, then farther. But it's incremental and it's maybe a little bit slower than maybe you hope. But before you know it, you're going to realize this was my limit before and this is my limit now. It's off the charts. So it's definitely something you're building toward, though. So just keep going. Don't give up on yourself because your body's not going to give up on you. That's really what's coming through very loud and proud. As long as I get there, I'll be happy. Yeah. And you will get there. And then you'll have a new goal and a new exciting thing to go work on. And it'll be great. There may even be a bittersweet kind of element of, wow, I did it. And now I'm like, now what do I do? Now what do I do? I mean, of course you can maintain what you've built, obviously, but after you kind of reach where you're at, there may be another really exciting goal that you have in life that you're really working toward. So very cool. And meeting a new female friend would be nice too. I miss having a gym buddy. Yeah. I see again, that might be, it's really weird because I'm seeing kind of the end of December going into January. Oh, that makes sense. January is kind of like New Year's resolution, new year, new me. There may be someone signing up after the new year or right around that new year point. Just kind of a new face that's at the gym that and again, it feels female. It really does feel female that, maybe you strike up a conversation with her. Like she has how do I run this machine? I'm new here. I feel kind of weird. I've never worked out in public. And maybe you're kind of almost like her mentor, but you can kind of work out together or keep each other accountable or, have a gym buddy. That's kind of the energy this is giving is she's kind of the new kid on the block at the gym, but it feels good. It feels like you guys could make a friendship that's not just as gym friends, but like friends, you know? Very cool, Michelle. Thanks again for your donation. We will check out the email and see. Yes, we are all up to date. Perfect. Very cool. So I will be back here on Wednesday. Fingers crossed, no, migraine nonsense or any of that fun stuff happens, so we can just move forward and be able to do a free one card pull for everybody on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Be there. That first 20 minutes is usually when I'm doing the free one card pull. So be there early to make sure you get your card pulled. I think most of the time we can hit everybody up before we run out of time. And I usually always go over the time, honestly. But even still, there comes a time where I'm so far over the time that I do have to start getting to the donations that I'm like, maybe we'll leave one or two people hanging. And I always feel bad about that. But yeah, that's why I say come early. Get there right when we start, so you're kind of guaranteed that you'll get your number out there. Whatever the secret password is of the day. Maybe not like that time it was Gemini Jeff the third, and that person kind of threw a fit. Like, I'm not going to say that. I'm like, okay, that's the password Wrigley gave us that day. Kind of funny. I just remembered that. I hadn't thought about that for a minute. But yes, free one card pull on Wednesday. That's the plan. Hopefully we can make that happen. And then again, Friday next week, a week from today, we will do the solar eclipse special that will kind of go hand in hand with the lunar eclipse special that we just had. If you missed that, it's the live stream right before this. It was last Friday because we didn't go live on Wednesday because of the migraine situation. But a lot of what we talked about in that, maybe not like right on the nose with things I said, but a lot of what came through is very relevant to the political climate that we're going through and what I foresee for kind of the more natural disaster cycle coming up with hurricane season and all sorts of craziness with just Mother Nature coming up here this month, next month, the next month, just, over this next 6 months, really, there's going to be a lot going on with that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can check it out if you missed it. All right, you guys. Well, I'm rambling, so I'm going to go. But thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Until next time, peace. Bye.